If you've ever coached, mentored, or taught a high-achieving math student, you already know the stakes feel incredibly high. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving right into how to build unstoppable resilience in competitive math students. We're breaking down the powerful psychological concepts from the book The Growth Mindset Coach, and specifically adapting them for the intense, high-stakes world of the middle school math Olympiad known as OSN Mathematica. Seriously, what do you do when your absolute smartest student suddenly just wants to throw in the towel? It's a brutal reality of the middle school math Olympiad. We're talking about kids who usually breeze through standard classroom math without even breaking a sweat. But then, bam, they hit a ridiculously complex combinatorics problem that completely stumps them. The panic sets in, their confidence totally shatters. We need a systematic way to catch them before they fall and literally rewire how they perceive difficulty. So, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The mental challenges of Math Olympiad. 2. Basic concepts of growth mindset. 3. Changing language and mindset. 4. Making mistakes the teacher. 5. The right practice strategy. And 6. Forging a lifelong learner. Section 1. Mental challenges of Math Olympiad. Let's get right into it. When these gifted students encounter those incredibly difficult HOTS problems, the higher order thinking skills problems that look more like an alien alphabet than actual math, they often make a massive mistaken assumption. They think they just aren't naturally gifted enough to succeed. Because they've literally always been the smart kid, hitting a wall feels like a total identity crisis. They instantly adopt psychologist Carol Dweck's fixed mindset. Basically, they start believing their mathematical ability has this hard biological limit, and they've just crashed right into it. Moving right along to Section 2, Basic Concepts of Growth Mindset. The book we're looking at here, The Growth Mindset Coach, by Annie Brock and Heather Hunley, gives us 343 pages of purely actionable strategies. It's all about building a culture where effort and process are praised. It perfectly translates decades of dense psychological research into really practical monthly lesson plans designed to completely transform how students view their own intelligence. But here's the catch. While this book is an absolute masterclass in educational theory, it was built for your everyday general classrooms. It doesn't specifically address the extreme nail-biting pressure of Olympiad-level math training. So to make these amazing tools actually work for top-tier competitors, we have to custom fit them for the OSN Mathematica SMP. All right, Section 3, Changing Language and Mindset. Think about the stark contrast between a student muttering, "I am just not gifted at math," versus one who confidently realizes, "You know what? I can grow with practice." This first adapted principle is absolutely crucial. It's about shifting the foundational belief of the student from a static fixed identity to a highly dynamic, evolving capability. And this shift actually happens in the exact words spoken during those grueling practice sessions. Changing "I can't" to "I can't yet" instantly makes a psychological shift tangible for your students. I mean, it's just one tiny word, but yet implies a future where success is totally possible if they keep grinding. It takes a dead-end street and turns it into a temporary roadblock, completely opening up a path forward. Section 4, Making Mistakes the Teacher. Principle 3 totally reframes things. Difficult problems are just a brain workout, guys, not a test of your self-worth. Then, Principle 4 comes in and says, mistakes, yes, even those incredibly frustrating, silly calculation errors, are actually your best teachers. And Principle 6 demands the courage to literally fail before succeeding. Grouping these three principles together shows us that failure is not a dead end at all. Actually, it's an absolutely necessary stepping stone in competitive math. Put simply, if you aren't making mistakes, the problems just aren't hard enough. Section 5, The Right Practice Strategy. Now, when it comes to actual practice, the data is super clear. Focusing on quality, like really wrestling with just 10 deep, complex questions, vastly outperforms drilling a massive quantity of 50 routine questions. Blind drilling, that's a one-way ticket straight to burnout, and it completely reinforces that nasty fixed mindset. Deep, qualitative practice, on the other hand, builds real mathematical intuition and nurtures the exact growth mindset we're looking for. To actually support that high-quality practice, students have to embed daily habits where the process matters way more than the final score. They literally have to actively step out of their comfort zones. They need to learn from their peers instead of just treating them like rivals, and they must reflect deeply after every single session. Because at the end of the day, rock-solid discipline will always beat fleeting motivation.
These are the specific behavioral shifts that turn great practice into a consistent, daily reality.
Section 6. Forging a lifelong learner.
I can't yet, but I am learning. Mistakes are the best teachers. Challenges make me stronger. I focus on the process, not just the result. This right here is the OSN growth mindset mantra. Just imagine the absolute power of your students internalizing this and repeating it every single day before they tackle a grueling math problem.
Because ultimately, guys, the goal isn't just winning a shiny medal. The Olympiad is merely a vehicle. The real prize is using this intense competition to forge a fiercely resilient student who genuinely loves to learn. It's about giving them a robust, incredibly adaptable mental framework that they'll carry with them for the rest of their lives. So the real question here isn't whether your students are smart enough. It's whether you are ready to coach your next lifelong learner. Are you going to keep drilling them to burn out? Or will you teach them the incredible power of not yet? The tools are all right here. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer. And hey, keep pushing those boundaries.